Welcome back. Legendary St. Lucian dancer and drummer Anthony Cocky Jabatis has passed away. Anthony was involved in the arts for years and was one of the major mentors of many well-known cultural icons in St. Lucia. He was known for his tap dancing and drumming. The dance fraternity says it is a sad day for St. Lucia.
The dance fraternity says it is with heavy hearts that they are bidding farewell to well-known dance icon Anthony Cocky Jabatis. Jabatis, who recently celebrated his 57th birthday, passed away on April 1st, 2021. Although very emotional, veteran dancer Carlton Ishmael, a friend of Jabatis, explains that the passion for the arts that was seen in his dear friend can never be found in anyone else. He says Jabatis dedicated his life to teaching many of the big names that are known in dance currently.
Today is a sad day for dance because one of my colleagues, although my junior, has passed, and it really is an aching feeling, but the reality of life. Cocky was what we call a vibrant and a very dominant performer. He had abilities that most of the young people didn't have in dance. He was able to what we call flip and flop. And because he was able to do all the gymnastics and these type of activities, it made him stand out. He also was self-taught where certain types of dance forms were concerned. He was the only tap dancer on island, and he was self-taught. Although he was 10 or 15 years my junior, he was considered the last generation of dancer after I left off. And he was also one of the last performers I performed with a limbo group called Vincent and the Flamingos. So technically, he had a joy for teaching.
Jabatis worked with names in the dance fraternity such as Silver Shadows and Lizzie-Font Dance Group. Ishmael says, although many will be touched by the death of Jabatis, his name will never be forgotten due to his influence.
As many who go, many will come. But the dedication that he had, that is the kind of passion a lot of people don't have. For instance, a lot of people believe that artists are well off because they have a gig here and the gig there, and their names are usually very, very up there in the as far as the society is concerned. But dancers and artists are humble people who try their best to represent themselves, represent the culture, the island, the everything that is cultural about making a statement. But then, sadly enough, some people make it great, and some people are forgotten. And in Cocky's case, he will never be forgotten in dance circles because he's played a very, very prominent role in the lives of almost every dancer in this country.
He was well known for his participation in Carnival All Mass competitions. He was also well known for dancing, drumming, and tap dancing. Tributes have been pouring on social media by legendary cultural icons such as Robert Lee and June Frederick on the passing of Jabatis. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Castries South MP Dr. Ernest Tiller made a guess at who would be going up against him at the next general elections, and on the same day, the United Workers' Party endorsed Bertrand Birch Johannes as their candidate. Dr. Hilaire, however, is seemingly unfazed, saying that his work in the constituency speaks for itself.
For months, there's been the question of who would be selected to represent the United Workers' Party to contest the Castries South seat against the St. Lucia Labour Party's Dr. Ernest Hilaire. On Tuesday, during a press conference, the question was raised yet again, and the incumbent Dr. Hilaire gave his guess of who he believed would be chosen.
I'm hearing a lot, just like you do, that somebody called Big Daddy. I mean, it's quite a strange name for a candidate, for them to call you Big Daddy. He's been the chosen candidate, and I think they said they're going to make a big announcement tomorrow, the day after, that Honorable Mary Isaac has been asked to step down and will be given a diplomatic post if they should win. It's interesting that they're saying if they win. When a ruling party is saying on the ground to its people, Mary has agreed to step down because if we win, we'll give her a posting overseas. And Buffalo, who was going to put out all the people of Castries South, has also pulled out. So I heard it's the Big Daddy who will be coming up against me.
Later on that same day, the UWP released a statement announcing that Castries South native Bertrand Birch Johannes had been endorsed by the party. However, during Tuesday's press conference, Dr. Hilaire said he is aware of the high stakes placed on the seat, but he is ready for the challenge.
As I've said before, I'll be judged on my representation of the people of Castries South. And it will be quite an interesting campaign because we all know the makeup of the constituency, Castries South. We all know that it is a seat that the United Workers' Party, and the Prime Minister in particular, wants badly. And I think more than just the city wants me badly. So we'll have some very exciting days ahead in Castries South. And I look forward to Big Daddy showing just how much of a father he has been.
Dr. Hilaire said he can look back proudly at his first 5 years as a parliamentarian, as he has achieved a lot, and all without the support of the government.
There's a deliberate strategy by United Workers' Party to suffocate the Labour Party parliamentary representatives and prevent them from having any space to do anything in their constituency. And I think in many ways I try creatively to find new ways of doing things and different things. So a big thing for me as a young community activist, youth leader, was building social cohesion and bringing communities together. And I tried to do the same thing as a parliamentary rep. I've done all of that without the government giving me support and without the government really lending support to the activities in Castries South. And all of that while I'm in opposition. So for the last 4.5 years, UWP has done nothing for the constituency, nothing. Ernest Hilaire as parliamentary rep, part of the Labour Party, has been suffocated and still finding ways to do things. And on the eve of it, all of a sudden, contracts for $10,000 is appearing, contracts for, $15,000 is appearing. So you do nothing for the people for almost 5 years. And on the eve of the election, you're flooding the communities with taxpayers' money in the hope that somebody can really become a daddy. And I guess we will see, and a lot will be said over the next few weeks as we lead up to the elections.
Dr. Hilaire said if he was able to achieve such feats whilst serving at a disadvantage, then his constituents can expect so much more when the SLP wins the next elections. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is encouraging healthy practices for the Easter weekend. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar-George says that while she understands that Easter is a time for family activities and socialization, the public is advised to make responsible decisions.
Traditionally, the Easter weekend is filled with lots of socialization. While this year may be different for many with the protocols that have been put in place for the management of COVID-19, the Chief Medical Officer says that residents can still enjoy the season, but can do so responsibly by focusing on family, health, and life.
Avoid excessive alcohol consumption, avoid driving under the influence, drive within the speed limits, and manage conflict safely, especially since we note the increases in violent crime over the last few days. If accessing the beach, do so with caution and monitor young children closely. The Easter weekend is noted for drownings and near-drowning events.
While the Ministry of Health notes the flattening of this third wave in country, it is reminding citizens that the country still has over 100 active cases, a number which it is working to reduce.
We would like to alert the public that mass crowd activities and open socialization is not recommended nor approved at this time in our management of the pandemic. We are still at high risk at this point. The public health team is working to reduce the cases to less than 50 to enable safe opening up of activities. We ask the public to work with us and continue to be patient. The premature social activity will lead to an upsurge of cases given the exponential transmission typical of this virus. As such, everyone is reminded that we need to continue adhering to the infection prevention and control measures that are proven to reduce transmission of the COVID-19 virus and keep us safe.
We are reminded to wash our hands often with soap and flowing water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer, wear a mask which covers our nose, mouth and chin, and maintain physical distance from others and avoid crowded activities. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Stay with us. There's more news coming up after the break.